Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. We're going to dive right in. First, I'll explain what the game is from the information available, and then I'll share my thoughts on said information. Enjoy! The Day Before is an open-world MMO survival set in a deadly post-pandemic America overrun by flesh-hungry infected and survivors killing each other for food, weapons, and cars. You wake up alone in a world you no longer remember, setting out to find answers and the resources to survive. You will be able to search abandoned vehicles, houses, and skyscrapers to scavenge for resources, crush the infected and the other players with realistic weapons, become a legend of the New World, explore beautiful yet dangerous places with stunningly detailed vehicles, and take part in the restoration of the former society before it's too late. From the newspapers and the videos shown, we could see that there was at least an attempt at an antiviral drug, which we can only assume was or is for the infection that spread. So, now that we have the generic information provided, let's go over the things I've seen and what I know, followed by what I think about the game currently and how I think it will turn out in the end. First off, the zombies or infected seem to all have a jogging speed. The game doesn't highlight any objects where the players should look for items, forcing players to figure out what they can loot by themselves. This is most likely, since this is an MMO, will have skills that can probably help you locate loot, as well as increase loot chances, rarity, and more. Though don't take my word for that, I'm just coming up with theories as I give you guys information about the game. So, in most MMOs, there's generally loot chance, loot drop, and, skills that can increase the amount of loot you get, as well as items that can also increase it for a limited amount of time. This could very well be a part of the game as well, but I'm not too sure. Gear slots that your character can use are divided into 7 categories: outerwear, pants, backpack, primary weapon, secondary weapon, headgear, and armor. Outerwear, pants, and headgear are for warmth and cosmetic purposes. However, headgear and backpacks may also have additional uses. This could be the ability for night vision, headlamps, additional armor, etc. for the headwear, and more inventory spaces for backpacks. Armor will no doubt be for better protection, and 2 slots for weapons, which from the looks of it can be any 2 weapons you want. Grenades and Molotovs are available, and with most likely other stuff as well, they will have their own assigned buttons separate from the primary and secondary weapon slots. This could also, rather than being a consumable, be a skill usage as well, but I definitely think this is going to fall under the equipment area. Now, looking at the HUD, there were 3 symbols to show your character's status for warmth, energy / stamina, and hydration, but now there is an additional bar under health where the stamina is now located. So now you'll see a snowflake for warmth, a lightning bolt for energy left that will be, replenished with food, and a water drop for how thirsty your character is. Noise will attract nearby lurking hordes of infected that will come out of nowhere, and they will swarm you on sight. This leads me to believe that it will be similar to Overkill's The Walking Dead game, where either too much noise in a given time will spawn a big horde, or simply shooting will attract a horde. However, in the video shown, a gunfight happened and a horde didn't immediately show up, or at all from what we saw. So I will choose once again to believe there is a noise threshold, or it only attracts the enemies that are nearby in that given area. Honestly, I really hope the noise threshold concept is the one that takes the precedence, as that would make firing your weapons all the more dangerous. The Survivor Colony, otherwise known as Woodbury Survivor Colony in the game, seems to be, by all means, the NPC base, or, like I said, colony, similar to Days Gone or the Division safe havens, where players will be able to see others, trade with NPCs or other players, store gear, accept missions, and probably also bounties, or start up raids against probably high numbers of zombies or bandits that are holed up in various places like skyscrapers, underground tunnels, hospitals, and more. The Survivor Colony is also where you will be recruiting other players whom you are not friends with, as I assume friends will just be able to pop in wherever you are as long as they are invited or you are open to public / friends. Though of course, you could very well be forced to only invite friends to your world from the Survivor Colony, and in safe areas, or before entering what we will call dungeons or boss areas maybe. Holiday events will also be a part of this game as well. You'll also be able to find areas in more hostile territory to camp, sleep, cook, and generally relax. As for base building itself, the developers explained that classic resource building, like building a hut out of stones and sticks, is not so much what inspired them, and it will be something similar to Nintendo's Animal Crossing. Though I have never played Animal Crossing, so I have no idea how that works. Frankly though, I'm not that interested in base building. If anything, I would rather reinforce places and that's it. But only time will tell after playing the game if my opinion on this changes or not. A crafting system is in the game, as the video reveals the player using a bandage by crafting it and using materials collected from looting to heal himself by stopping the bleeding. Guns and weapons may be able to be modified with attachments such as grips, sights, scopes, or muzzles, etc., but this was not shown, so don't hold your breath. You will also be able to craft a splint, which most likely means your limbs, at the very least your legs, can be injured, which will either force you to only walk or not allow you to sprint at all, possibly even causing your accuracy to become worse. It seems things that will heal you, whether it be health, disease, or injury, will be in its own tab under consumables, where grenades, molotovs, etc. will be under the crafting equipment tab. Though this last part is my assumption, as it doesn't show what is inside the equipment tab in the videos so far, so you could very well only be able to, well, purchase these deadly throwables, but I strongly believe you'll be able to craft them in the equipment tab. The game has multiple choices after downing players with different types of finishing moves depending on the weapon. You'll be able to heal and tie up other players. You guys are creative enough to come up with plenty of ways this could be used, and well, abused. Your stamina is consumed with sprinting and most likely melee and blocking if either of these are going to be implemented into the game, but replenishes pretty fast from what I've seen. There may be a chance to be infected or get diseased, and you will need antiviral drugs to remove these debuffs. The debuff severity will vary depending on whether there's permadeath or not and the game's overall difficulty. The in-game voice chat will have icons on the screen to show who is talking as well. And this is kind of nice if you're not in a party or, in Discord, but, still nice nonetheless. It also seems zombies do not react to light, but rather only noise and on capturing a player's figure, though these videos released so far were heavily scripted, so with time we will figure out more information. Honestly, the game looks good visually, and the gameplay feels right at home with other games I have played. It definitely has my attention. Do I think this will be an amazing game? Epic game? No, I don't. I think it will be a good game, and with the right people, I think I could really have a blast. But I will not say and do not believe this will be truly epic quality. Just a good game in the end that so far doesn't bring anything new to the table, and even if there are a few things here and there, probably in the end won't be anything we haven't experienced in multiple other games, either piece by piece or all together. Nonetheless, one thing I am excited for is that we're, and hopefully will not be running through empty woods, fields, and more, but rather through a city. Seriously, even if that was just one city, I could have been happy. I'm personally tired of survival games having so much empty space and so little buildings to enter or see. I do think that we will have open areas in this game, and that there will be, whether it's weather in a specific area that changes, or just each area has their own different weather. Man, that's tongue-tied and confusing to say, but either way, I do think there will be weather systems in this game. I don't know how much it's going to affect each map or area or hub, we'll say, but we will eventually find out. Let me just say one thing, though. I highly doubt you will be able to enter a ton of buildings. For example, if I was to give a percentage, it would be something like this. 30% of buildings and houses will be, well, able to be entered, while the other 70% will not. This does not include quest-related buildings and areas. This is simply for areas unrelated to quests, raids, etc. Well, either way, this is the end of the video. I can't wait to get this game day one and dive in. I love zombie games, and I enjoyed my time with The Division, The Last of Us, and Days Gone. Why would I not dive into a baby of these? Feel free to share your thoughts on this video, the game, and I really hope you enjoyed this information that I collected from watching the game's videos and reading through many articles. Depending on how this video does, the amount of videos, information released, and feedback from you all, I just may make more videos for this game leading up to its release. Whether you were watching this be daytime or nighttime, stay safe and catch you all later. It's been fun, and I look forward to, well, releasing the actual videos for this game whenever it releases.